It is the Kiss Station, Kiss 104.7, and good afternoon. We have the performer, the artist, producer, engineer, songwriter, best thing I ever did, Allie Jason. Hey!
Hi, what an introduction. Thank you.
Well, we want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to chop it up with us and kind of talk with us this afternoon.
Oh, but of course, I'm really happy to be here.
Let me say, first of all, Best Thing I Ever Did is an amazing song. It is really, really good. And, you know, we've been telling people a little bit about you, but tell everybody, how did you get started doing what you're doing? You know, singer, songwriter, producer, the whole 9 yards. Take us back to the beginning.
Well, that's a long story. It goes way back. Back to when I was 6 years old, actually. That's when I decided I wanted to be a musician. And recently I was going through some of my old stuff and I actually found a drawing that I drew in a journal. And I loved it because a little guitar with my full name. So that's when I decided it. I used to sing to myself all the time, like at school or at home, wherever I was. And I started guitar in elementary school. And I even took kind of like acting classes on the side though, but I decided to stick with just music. I started writing my own music in 6th grade, so I think I was 11. And I started messing around with GarageBand on the computer, I think, when I was in about 8th grade, maybe 9th grade. But then I was just like, I love it so much. I've just been doing it forever. And since the pandemic actually is when I really started to produce my own stuff and kind of change my sound. So I've basically been doing this since I was born almost. So, yeah.
Yeah, I saw in your bio where it said since the age of 6, you decided that music was going to be your career and that was what you were going to do.
Yeah, it was just, my mind was set on that. I'm like, yep, this is it. I love this. Like, that's it.
Now, do you play a multitude of instruments? And obviously, you do your own writing.
Yes, I do all my own writing. Except I have co-written with someone from Muscle Shoals. His name's Jimmy Thrasher. But that was a single I released a couple of years back called Beautifully Chaotic. And then we co-wrote some country songs, but they weren't really released. But besides that, yeah, I do all my own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, which is so impressive. You know, when you're looking at singer, songwriter, producer, and engineer, how did you get into the whole engineering part?
It kind of just, I wanted to learn how to do everything myself, kind of. And that's all, when the pandemic hit too, I had so much inspiration for songs and there was nowhere to go. And honestly, all my songs that I've done since then have been on my phone. So it's just this GarageBand app on my phone, and I just have been learning over the years how to make it sound better and better and better with each release.
I have to ask you this. What artists or what were your biggest influences when it came to artists and musicians?
That's definitely a tough question because I have many. I've had many over the years too. Like they were different when I was a kid. They're different now. High school. I mean, starting off when I was younger, I loved Miley Cyrus. Not that I don't anymore, but I loved her. I would sit in my room and try to copy her voice, and I kind of molded my voice off of her for a handful of years. And it kind of shifted in high school. I started being in bands in high school, so I was listening to a lot of Led Zeppelin and Janis Joplin and that kind of stuff. But now it's molded into I love Jim Morrison. I love his tone. I love his voice. I love some of his writing is, but but I do appreciate his artistry. I wish he was still around. But a lot of the inspiration for the music I've released in the past couple of years, like Billie Eilish, notes of Lana Del Rey, Post Malone was actually a big influence for a lot of my music for a little while there. I think about 4 years now. Definitely love his sound. But yeah, it's shifted a lot.
Well, that's the cool thing about it because it's obvious that you are a growing artist and you have, a lot of different influences. And I think, I always said that, being an artist is not necessarily being at one place at a time. So even if it's not growing, would you say maybe evolving?
Yet I still take influence from all of those artists before too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah, you kind of add more to the list, you know? I thought of like Post Malone and I would be really cool working on some stuff together. I feel like we have similar vibes when it comes to certain songs. Like off his first album, I can definitely vibe with that kind of style. And I mean, Billie Eilish as well. Like a lot of the stuff I listen to right now is like music from my friends or underground music that I found online, and mainly that, and then older music, like oldies, like 50s and 60s. But of today, yeah, Post Malone would be cool.
That's great. I mean, everybody you named is a force in their own right, or legendary. You know, you can't get no more legendary than Jim Morrison. I mean, the whole Doors, you know.
Yeah, I mean, please. I love all of it. I love their music. So good.
Wow, I love that. Now, how did you, or should I say, what was the inspiration behind Best Thing That I Ever Did?
Well, so that's the kind of song that is obviously about heartbreak, but finding the empowerment within the heartbreak. It's understanding that leaving a sort of really like addiction type relationship, you know, those toxic ones, even on both ends, you know, where you just can't seem to let each other go. And it's mainly about finally choosing to leave, and how it really does hurt. It hurts me to leave you, but I know that it's the best thing that I could do for myself, so I can find who I'm supposed to be.
Obviously, it resonated with all our listeners because people are really loving it. And I wanted to ask the other question was, what gives you the inspiration behind your music as a whole?
Honestly, it's weird. It just comes to me in the moment. Each time I write a song, it tends to be a little different, but usually it's with the past two albums that I had before this, it's like something would come over me, I'd go into a haze, and then all of a sudden I have a song hours later. I'm like, what happened? But it's always stuff that I'm taking from my personal experience, things around me, things within my mind, things that have happened. And yeah, pretty much that, just from my noggin.
So cool. I mean, you tap into the universe, and Smokey Robinson once said, we had him on the show, and he said that, you know, a song could wake you up, or it could be you could be lying there, or a song will come to you, or it could be the toothbrush, the sound of the toothbrush or something will give you an idea.
Oh, yeah. Like you'll hear another song that kind of like gives you an inspiration. Like some of them have, I'll admit, I was in the shower once and then a song came to me and I like had to run out without falling. I was like, I don't want to lose this later.
Oh, wow. I love that. I absolutely love that. Now, what would you like to do in addition to music? Like, would you like to score movies or do something else that's still in the creative vein?
Oh, I love so many things. That's just been my thing my whole life. I always had a multitude of stuff I wanted to do. Like creative, I've always been obsessed with fashion. Obsessed.
Wow.
I am short, so I don't know if I can do runway. I am 5'2", but I would love to do runway. I wanted to do modeling. When I was a kid, I would practice like doing my runway walk in heels in the living room, or like when my mom would take me to Macy's, I'd put on the heels and do a little strut. Like I always loved that. I'm obsessed with fashion now, just with what I put on my body. It's really fun for me. I used to do, actually, because the music video that I have for Best Thing That I Ever Did, I did as well, because I was always into video editing as well. I don't know, film, I loved acting growing up. I always had a dream that I wanted to be in a movie with Johnny Depp. I mean, who doesn't have that dream?
Right. I mean, you fall right in line, you know, with that. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I don't know if I can still act, but, you know, you never know. You got to give yourself more credit.
You never know, because, you know, you are so talented. You are so marketable. You are obviously a very beautiful woman.
Thank you.
That can happen. I can see that happen, especially now that Amber Heard is out the picture. You never know.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't know if we're talking dating. I think I'm good, but I would love to act with him and talk with him, and vibe, because he's a very creative man as well. I know he's an artist too. Like I think he draws or paints or something. But yeah, just everything. And like even right now, I actually work with teenagers at an alternative suspension program for schools. So I actually really enjoy doing that as well.
That is funny because I was actually saving that because I want you to tell everybody about that. Everybody at the radio station is like so impressed with that. They were like, oh yeah, she is thebomb.com.
Well, thanks. I'm sorry. I totally just blew that wide open. But
yeah. How did you get started with that? And how did you get involved with that?
Honestly, it was super random. I started it this year. I'm actually, to be transparent, I'm a recovering addict and alcoholic of about almost 4.5 years. So, and I've been doing music forever, as you know. So when I play music around where I live, I've been playing around at bars and whatnot for almost 6 years now. And I guess somebody who wanted to run the program just heard about me, just as a person, and thought that I would be a good asset with my knowledge of recovery and just of my old life, that I'd be really helpful for the kids. And it turns out, yeah, it's a really good fit. I really enjoy the job a lot.
Well, you definitely get kudos from us, and we think that is absolutely phenomenal. So congratulations to you on that.
Thank you. I really enjoy it. Just had work today. It's rewarding to be able to warn or help younger people before they do something wrong. Like detrimentally wrong. You're like, hey, I did that for you, all right? Let me tell you, not worth it. Like,
been there, done that, right? Well, I have to ask you this. Once again, you're such an easy person to interview, which kind of lends us to our next question, which is, what advice would you give to the kid that's out there listening to you now? Now they're saying, I want to do what Allie's doing. I want to be where she is. I want to make the kind of music that she is doing. What advice would you give to that person today?
Do it. Like, honestly, just do it and don't stop. If you love it and if you live it and you breathe it, don't stop. There's going to be people in your way the whole time. It's not easy. Like, there's going to be people telling you, like I've heard before, like, why are you doing this? You can't even sing. You should stop. Like, or people are going to laugh at you. Like, people are mean. People tend to be mean when they see that you have a goal that you're really passionate about. They might think you're weird. You might be an outcast, but it's worth it because you have to stay consistent in it. Especially if you love it, just keep on doing it because it will pay off. Guaranteed, if you give it all that you have.
Wow. Great advice. Now, I do understand that you have an EP, you got 2 albums and 2 singles out on all platforms. I want you to take your time and let everybody know how they can pick up your music, how they can get in touch with your social or everything about Allie Jason.
Yes, indeed. So, let's see. The first EP I have that I released when I was 19. That's out. It's called Wonderland. It's under, it's both Allie Jason, but they're different accounts just because I made a new kind of account when I revamped my sound. So that picture is little 19-year-old blonde me. So that is me. It's just a separate thing. And then on the new Allie Jason account, it's there's an album called Recovery Level 1, and there's an album called Recovery Level 2. Those are both songs that I wrote during quarantine, and the Recovery Level 1 and Level 2 titles actually came from an ex-radio partner of mine. He thought it was a good idea because I was processing all of my emotions during quarantine, and it was a process of emotional recovery. So those songs are basically a roadmap of the roller coaster of stuff I was going through. And then Beautifully Chaotic, that's also on the new account. That was released in September of 2020. You can find all of these things, including Best Thing That I Ever Did, on all platforms ever if you just search it. So Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, blah, 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 all that good stuff. And as socials come, my website is AllieJasonMusic.com. And my Instagram, which I am incredibly active on all the time, is AllieJason_official. And to spell it, ALLIEJASON, and then _official. And I have Facebook fan page and YouTube, both under my name, Allie Jason. I do have a Twitter. I don't use it often, and it's a weird name, but if you want it, I can tell you. I made it when I was 18, and, you know, I thought the name was funny, because I have a mushroom tattoo on my arm, so I kind of kept the name. But it's called Grody _toadstool. I wouldn't ask. But yeah, that exists. I also have a SoundCloud. I don't know if that's an important.
Yes. I mean, anything that you have, you know, where this is your spotlight to put it out.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. You just look for me. I am all over the place. I make sure to, you know, do all that I can to get the message out, you know?
And that is Allie, like ALLIE. I want to make sure that everybody understands that, right? Now, does it have the underscore, or is it Allie J, the little J, or just to be certain that we all connect?
So on which one? On the Instagram, it's all lowercase, and it's ALLIEJASON_official.
You have a beautiful singing voice, and you have a beautiful speaking voice.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm a professional. I know.
Well, I appreciate that. That made my day. Now I'm just going to talk all day.
Yeah, just talk.
I have a beautiful speaking voice.
Yeah, you do. You have a very beautiful speaking voice. It's like, wow. Well, Allie, it has been a pleasure to have you on. This interview, we were looking forward to it. I was looking forward to it, and I haven't been let down. It has been all that and more.
All that and a bag of chips, I agree. Oh, man.
And, you know, we're going to have you back because you're family now. So, you know, we got to have you back, you know.
Oh, but of course. Just call me. Well, not anytime. Give me a warning. But yes.
Oh, yeah, we'll definitely let you know. You know, I mean, hey, this is the best thing that we ever did. So I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yes, that could be a good conversation topic, you know?
It really
what is the best thing that you ever did? Because that's one of the best things I ever did. But how about you?
You know what? You might have stumbled on something there. That'd be a great bandwagon question we could do in the morning.
Yeah, please. And honestly, I can't take full credit. My musician friend Shannon Davis, we were talking about this recently, and she told me, she was like, you know what, the best thing that I ever did is, and I was like, oh, that would be a wonderful topic.
Tell Shannon she is thebomb.com because she nailed it with that. You both did.
This was fun. I appreciate it. It's a good way to spend an afternoon, and it's lovely to meet y'all.
It has been a pleasure to meet you, and this isn't the last time, so you know, we're going to definitely be talking, and can't wait for more music from you because, you know, now you done wet our whistle, so we want to know, you know, what more great music, you know, Allie has. So we're going to be checking you out.
Of course. Just let me know. I'm around.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Allie, and you have a great afternoon and a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well. Enjoy what sounded like you're going to have or having sunny weather. I heard a little of that.
Yeah, we have lots. It's warm here.
Nice. Love that.
All right. You have a good one.
You too. Okay, I'm Allie Jason. This is my new single, Best Thing That I Ever Did, on Kiss 104.
It took a few jumps over the moon for me to walk away. I know I'm surprised too, I really thought I'd stay. But I was blinded by the illusion that everything was okay. Deep down I knew I was just willing to suffocate. Scream at me until there's nothing left for you to breathe. Shaken by the thought of you just criticizing me. I've gone over it a billion times, awake and fast asleep. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. I find myself choking back the tears from all the late, late nights, breaking me down to nothing just to prove that you're right. Scream at me until there's nothing left for you to breathe. Shaken by the thought of you just criticizing me. I've gone over it a billion times, awake and fast asleep. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. Whoa, oh, oh, hey, whoa. You brought me too far off your grid, but it's the best thing that I ever did. Oh, hush, now I worked it out. Whoa, hush, no, I worked it out. Whoa, hush, no, I worked it out. Whoa, hush, no, I worked it out.